Welcome in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, soon to be joined by my co-host here, J.R. Anderson, as we take you down until 6 o'clock. Per usual here on the Big X, Tuesday through Friday. We're missing our other co-host, Curtis Phillips, today, a.k.a. Mr. Philly Picks, as he will be out today doing some stuff with the family he had to handle. But it's all good. It'll be JR and I here, getting JR in shortly. We did have some technical difficulties to start the show off a little bit. If you're on the YouTube side of things or on the X side of things, we're sorry for the camera display kind of seeming like it's not working. We're trying to get it all figured out and worked out here, but at least got that audio out there to you guys on the YouTube side as well. But there's a lot to discuss. There's a lot to get into. We've got more college football playoff news and excitement to get into. We've got obviously bowl games continuing to happen that we can continue to talk about as well. Or actually, no, we're done with the bowl games. All the bowl games are finished, but with the reaction to some of the bowl games, as we haven't gotten to do that here much on the Ticket Punchers, but we've got a game Friday, Oregon, Indiana on the 9th that we're going to be looking into. Thursday, Miami, Ole Miss. We're going to be looking into that one as well. But we've had some breaking news happen as we've now have J.R. Anderson joining us here on the show. J.R., glad to have you joining us as we are just now getting into the breaking news today of John Harbaugh now being announced that he's been fired from coaching the Ravens. You are a Ravens fan. We have Rashawn Myers, host of the Wake Up 502 show here on the Big X every Saturday morning, who is also a big Ravens fan. A lot of Ravens fans are pretty happy about this. I'm seeing on initial reactions, and I'm also seeing a little bit of some Ravens fans not too enthusiastic, which is a bit surprising. I feel like most people should be under the same feeling that there needs some new life in Baltimore. JR, if you can hear us and we can get you in here, how are you feeling about this breaking news? Your Ravens making the change finally. Don't think we're getting any audio from you, JR, so we'll see if that can load up for you. But there you are.
How am I sounding?
There it is. Now you're sounding
better. Yeah, excited, man. Best news. I made an hour-long video yesterday about just, going over all the single-score losses over the 18 years and, just the 20-point blowouts to start the season, things like that. But, man, today's a good day. I don't know who the replacement's going to be, so it's kind of bittersweet, going through change. But I don't think we can go through another year with wasting LJ's talent. I think we need to be able to hold people accountable, offensively and defensively, and bring back that Ravens culture, man. So I think it's time for a change and, to get us back on track. So I'm excited.
Disappointing season, ultimately, when you are dealing with a quarterback like Lamar Jackson in his prime and you're not putting him in a position to succeed ultimately from start to finish in a season. Whether that's personnel issues from roster construction, whether that's coaching issues from game planning mistakes or errors or overthinking, I like to call it, or whether that's just the game's not coming down to the pieces falling how you want. Ravens fans have kind of been through it all here lately. Being so close to success a few times as well, I feel like a lot of people understand why they're making this move. I want to ask before we get into just our basic ticket puncher talk for today here, January 6th, 2026. We'll have Louisville in action tonight that we're going to be discussing. Like you just mentioned, there's not a favorite for this new opening yet. Are there some names that you would be interested in if you had to choose?
Yeah. The one that I love the most is Brian Flores. I know it's kind of a touchy subject with his legal situation with the league and stuff, and him also being DC for the Vikings. So it'll be kind of interesting. I've been hearing some Kubiak rumors of him wanting to get back out there. I've been hearing some Mike McCarthy rumors of him potentially being interested. But we just need someone who has, same type of championship pedigree. But most importantly, man, we have to be able to restore the Ravens culture, build back strong with our defense first. And then we have to revamp that offensive line and then find weapons for Lamar. I mean, Lamar can cover up a lot, but we got to start with defense, man. That's been Ravens culture for the longest.
Defense does definitely come first in the NFL these days. You see the teams that are making things happen, making a difference. They've got an elite side of play on the defensive side too. So hopefully they can get the right coach in there who brings in the right guys and gets everybody on the same page again. Because, I mean, with a body type like Lamar and his play style and his athleticism, are not necessarily on a timer, but you don't know how many years of this kind of Lamar you're going to get, right? You don't know how many years he's going to still be willing to take hits and be that do-it-all kind of a quarterback. So you've got to make use of him and his ability right now, being one of the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks in the league. Got to get him in a spot to win, and that's now or never for the Ravens ultimately.
Absolutely.
But we had to touch on that a little bit. You had the Lamar Jackson jersey back there hung up right now. I believe you have a U of L one sitting around somewhere as well. So I knew you were going to be excited to hear that news. You got the Ravens gear on today. You got the captain's hat on today. And that leads us now into our next segment here on the Ticket Punchers, and that is ultimately the weekend, JR. And just the time, this past couple of weeks, we haven't had a lot of shows. We haven't been able to get out there as much as we would like to on the airwaves just because of time being off and whatnot and people having different availability. But we're back. We're back to that consistency. We're back to that continuous every day giving picks out, giving punches out, finding lines, and doing our dig. And I've got to ask, ultimately, though, what surprised you most over the weekend? Was it something on the college football playoff side of things with the bye games and the upsets? Was it maybe potentially something on the NBA side of things? Yeah, we've seen a Thunder team start 25-1, best start in organization history, like on path for that same type of start that the Warriors had for their 73-9 season, the same start that Bulls team had for their 72-10 season. And since they had that start at 25-2, they've dropped to 6-5 in their last 11 games, not looking like the same team at all, which has been ultimately a surprise when it kind of felt like we were entering that stage of the season where they were just about to start coasting, winning every game, and there's not really any doubt that they're going to be the team that makes it to the finals. I haven't seen a lot of finals picks changes, but the Thunder showing that they're beatable, Indiana busting up Alabama the way that they did last week. I mean, all of the craziness in the NFL that we got to watch. What surprised you most, or just what had your attention the most over the weekend going in?
I would say definitely the Miami-Ohio State game. You know, I picked Ohio State to win by, 8 points on our show, almost 10 points on our show. And, that flopped on me. And then also Georgia, man, those 2 games really surprised me. I will say I think Trinidad is a lottery pick. That boy can absolutely sling it.
They're saying he's staying back.
Dude, if he comes out next year, or he decides to inevitably stay with Ole Miss, which he said he is a stud. I haven't seen someone be that calm throughout an entire game in a very long time. He was very impressive, and to take down Georgia in that fashion was very impressive. I'll be very interested to see how he does against this Miami defense, and if he can replicate it, I think his draft stock is going to do nothing but shoot through the roof. But those 2 games for sure, man.
It kind of surprised me, if I'm being honest, that he already announced that he was going to be returning and got that 60-year of eligibility or whatever, the approval for it, when you're in a situation that your draft stock is going to be rising with the position you're in. I'm not saying it's a weak quarterback class by any means, but there are a lot of discrepancies on the opinions of the guys that are kind of sitting at the 1, 2, and 3 spot of the quarterback rankings right now. You can kind of put your name in that category right now if you wanted to, or I think you're kind of doing so a bit. And I just felt like it's a bit early. See what your prospects look like before you announce you're coming back potentially. If you've got the opportunity to go and do something special this season. NFL teams are going to be watching that. That was definitely the biggest surprise, one of the biggest surprises over the last few weeks or so for me as well. Georgia, though, ultimately, that was my pick. I really thought Georgia would get the job done, and they didn't, and that was shocking. And now we've gotten an exciting, unpredictable college football playoff, the Final 4 teams, right? Not really what anybody predicted. As you've got an Ole Miss team, you've got Miami. Not a lot. I mean, most people didn't have them getting to this part. Texter on the comments say Lane Kiffin is shaking right now. He is. Philly picks, actually. That's Philly jumping in, chatting with us here as he was able to get in on the stream for a few minutes. We appreciate you, Philly. Lane Kiffin, I mean, that's why he agreed. That's why he forced them to pay. He knew that there was a chance for for this Ole Miss team to go and get a couple of wins. And as soon as they did so, or because they were potentially going to do so, he made it to where LSU had to pay him if they did. So he's shaking right now, but he's getting paid for feeling like the guy that left the winning team and the success story. But that's college football in this day and age. JR, we've got a lot we can go next. The direction we can really take is really up to you, because we've got all kinds of NBA action on tonight. We can get official punches out there. We can get triple punch, and I want to do both of those. But before we do that, we've got to talk about our cards in action tonight. The line has been all over the place as we're facing Duke in the Center, 7 p.m. First true big test in the ACC this season. I say that as we're coming off of a loss to Stanford, but that when I say test, I mean a team that is projected to be a team that's going to make some noise in March and go on a March run. That is what this Duke team is projected to do. This is the first team in the ACC projected to do something like that this season that we're facing. And it's exciting because we haven't beat Duke since 2021, I believe, which we beat them twice in the regular season that season and then lost to them in the ACC tournament, which started a bit of a streak of a losing streak to this Duke side. And Pat Kelsey himself has kind of been on a bit of a, losing streak against these top type opponents that have got that top tier talent and top tier size, right? When you go up against the top teams that don't have that size, he's done well. Indiana, Kentucky, Cincinnati. But when he's gone up against the teams that have that talent and that size, Arkansas, Tennessee, he hasn't gotten the job done. Even back to last year, looking at Tennessee, Ole Miss, and the Duke games. Even though we were up at halftime in both of those Duke games last year. Overall, JR, how confident are you about Louisville's chances of getting a victory tonight? And how do you see this game going?
Yeah. No Brown, no win.
Don't do that to us, JR. Don't do that.
The only thing that I'm hopeful for is if we play well with the home crowd, if they fuel us and if the 3 ball is rolling, that's our only savior, man. I don't think we're going to have an answer for the bigs inside. I think that's what our weakness is right now, until Case and Pryor maybe comes out of his shell a little bit, but we haven't seen it, since before the injury. So, everything's telling me take Duke money line. It's minus 118 right now, but it's, I can't press the button. I'll just stare at it. But I'm hoping that we play really good, man. I'm hoping that they prove us wrong. But, track record shows that even with Brown, we struggle. Without Brown, we really struggle. I mean, the last game we improved. We only lost by, a couple possessions. So there's hope since it's a home game, but we'll see.
There is some hope, obviously. Pat hasn't lost a home game since Duke last season, December. Yeah. We did go on to lose to them again in the ACC tournament, but he hasn't lost since December 8th of last year in the Yum Center, which is a long time. That's one of the more positive aspects for me in this one is that since he got slapped around a little bit last year and got to go feel what it's like to be in this power conference type of play, and you get to go play against the Dukes of the world, he hadn't lost on his home floor. And granted, I think scheduling this year has kind of helped that be the case, right? We didn't have to see Arkansas on our home floor. We didn't have to see Tennessee on our home floor. The Stanford game being the second game on a Cali Coast trip is part of the reason you're maybe not up to capacity in that game a little bit. It's just tough being out there traveling, not being in your everyday environment and atmosphere. But Louisville has struggled against these kinds of opponents. Now, with that being said, JR, this Duke side has been iffy in the handful of performances this season. I say iffy, only having one loss in those, losing to Texas Tech. But they looked iffy against Georgia Tech leading them at halftime. And without some late game, insane deep shooting heroics from Isaiah Evans in their last matchup against Florida State was right there. They had it close. They were staying right there. Duke would push the lead to 6 or 7. FSU would cut it back down to 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 points. But they just ultimately couldn't stop the 3-pointers from coming down for Duke on the wings with Foster and Evans. Duke couldn't stop FSU from generating those open looks, right? The cross-court skip passes, the off-ball screening, and the off-ball movement from the FSU side was definitely, I think, a factor and them generating so many clean looks. That's what also led to them being able to get downhill. This was also on their home floor, right? I think Duke traveling, getting to see that FSU crowd, and then FSU coming out and not backing down from the fight allowed them to kind of stay in this game. I think Louisville has to buy into a few of the things that FSU did in this matchup, really kind of do a lot of the same things offensively and just defend better than FSU did. Because FSU, while they attacked offensively great and picked their spots well, they didn't defend the perimeter well. And it wasn't even necessarily like defending ball handlers well. They just didn't defend the off-ball movement well. We're going to have to do that. There isn't a lot of off-ball movement for the Duke Blue Devil side, but they do kind of play through Cam Boozer, right? They let him be that hub down low. I'm going to get mine against this one-on-one matchup. If you bring two, I'm going to find the open shooters. Let him go out there and get his. Don't let the shooters get theirs, and Louisville should have a chance of getting a win here, I think, on their home floor in this one.
Yeah.
JR, I want to ask you, though, if you can look into some numbers, though, because I've seen 1.5 on the favorite side for Louisville on DraftKings, and at that same moment you go look on FanDuel or a different book, and you see a different number. And Fanatics has us at 2.5, and Caesars has us at 0.5. What's up with all of the way maneuvering lines for this matchup, JR?
This is probably one of the most confusing lines I've ever seen in my life, to be honest.
That's what somebody said earlier today on the Mike Rutherford said the same thing on the radio today. He says he's not really seen something like this, the confusion on like the betting confusion that's being displayed on this game.
The only thing that, I would say in my experience, the only time I've ever seen this is when maybe there could be an injury that people don't know about that's maybe on the Duke side, and maybe someone's playing through it. That's the only time I've ever seen something like this. But even then, still, so with no Brown and our record against ranked opponents, the line doesn't make sense. But I think everybody's feeding into the Pat Kelsey home record and us just having the mojo at home. That's the only reasonable explanation out, and because I haven't seen any large lump sums of money come in from any sharp bettors yet, so the line does not make very much sense whatsoever. So I think it's just the home court advantage.
Yeah, maybe people kind of trying to, Duke looked a little bit iffy against this FSU team that was projected to be bad on the road, and FSU scored 87 points against this Duke team. If Louisville's shooting well on their home floor, they're going to beat Duke. I think that's kind of what's going on. The books use more details than that, though. They have more numbers than that. They have more information than that. So that's what's only confusing. No way that you see 80% of the bets coming in on Duke. That doesn't make a line move this much. That does the opposite. That should mean Duke should be 2.5, 3.5 point favorites at this point, right? So that's just a bit confusing. I'm kind of trying to find a way to allow people to view this game because it's tough. Like, hey, this is what's happening with the line. This is what I would do, but hey, we're not going to bet it. I don't really like doing that all that much. I just like to kind of address everything happening with the line and kind of try to see if we can figure out why that's happening.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, JR, you're not going to let yourself pick Louisville tonight. You're going to just be the fan that you are and hope for the best.
It's tough, man. We're 8-0 at home. They're 7-0 at home. Their record on the road is 3-0. It's tough. It is tough. That record is with Michael in there. We all know that. If they're going to give us points, take the points. But, man, even 2 points, I don't see us hanging in there unless we shoot well above 35% from three, and don't ever have a moment where we go down by more than double digits.
I see. If Louisville hits X number of threes tonight, they can get the job done. What's that number for you?
6 to 7. I
really?
Would say, I would say like 7 threes, just in spurts, like some good possessions, like just the ability to score, If Sewell can get going, that would help us tremendously. Like he has to score 20 plus, which is very doable, but we just have to make shots, But I would say 6 to 7 plus threes would keep us in contingency. I still think 2 points is a little generous.
I think we got to get up to that 9 or 10 minimum mark for the 3-pointers. I think when you look at the games we've won, I should say when you look at the games we've lost, right? More times than not, they're holding us to under 8 threes. Yeah. the bigger teams at least, because they're holding us to less possessions because we have to hold the ball longer and we're not able to run. We're not able to get up as many open looks. A lot of different factors. I do think, though, that ultimately we got to get to at least 10. I think if we can get to 10 threes made, you get 5 or 6 in one half, 4 or 5 in another half, you should be able to score enough points in both of those halves to stay in the game regardless of what Duke is doing on the offensive side. Then it just comes down to getting stops at the end of the game. I'm going to give Cards the win. I think Cards can get a 2-point victory here. I think it comes down to some late game heroics. Maybe you're down one, you get an and one, you get a stop, you get some free throws, and you get the job done. I know that's asking for a lot, but that's kind of what I'm feeling like. That's where the vibes are at for me. That's more of like the gut. The logic saying Louisville can't do this. Louisville hasn't shown they can do this. My gut instinct is saying it's time for Louisville to do this. Louisville has the skill to do this, and it's just a matter of putting it all together. But we'll have to see. We'll have to watch. We'll have to get in there and root for the best, right? I got to ask you, though, JR, where are your official punches for tonight? We've got a lot to wager on. We've got a lot of NBA action happening. I got a bonus prop on some underdog stuff. I've already taken a couple of props just on a little bit of a fun bonus bet parlay that underdog rewarded me with. I also have a couple of got a little bit of NBA 3-leg that I've already wagered here, or NBA 2-leg that I've wagered for tonight. I want to see where you're at, though, with your picks for tonight, because I also got some tennis. I'm spicing things up. We're adding some tennis. We've got some tennis in tonight. There's a line in a match that I think is a little bit too low. It should be in that minus 250 range. They've got it in that minus 180 range, and I think we've got a good money line spot in that matchup. We've got one more kind of similar situation happening. Just the higher, much higher ranked, much more experienced player. Not insanely crazy odds just because it's early in the tennis season. So where are you, though, with your official punches tonight here in this last 5 minutes of the show?
I am taking Darius Garland under 24.5 points going up against the Pacers. I don't know how this line even exists. I know his track record against the Pacers is pretty decent, but I don't see him scoring 25. He hasn't been really turning it on here lately. Minus 132 currently. And then I also love Anthony Black over 4.5 assists, minus 138 as well against the Washington Wizards, who give up the most assists to guards and wings. I had another line for college that I really love.
Darius Garland has only gone over that mark 3 times this season.
Yeah.
3.
What is it against the Pacers?
He did it against the Hornets.
Yeah.
He did it against the Bulls, and he's done it against the Hornets twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know where that line's coming from either.
I don't know. His last, 5 matchups against the Pacers are 20, 11, 21, 10, and 24. The only thing I was thinking was maybe they would rule someone out here late for injuries, but I have not seen anyone get ruled out. I was like, maybe, Jared Allen is probable. D-Wade is questionable, and Tyson's questionable.
Oh, they've got D. Mitch questionable.
Yeah. So,
I guess that's where it's
just got ruled out.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I think they did just rule him out.
Yeah. So maybe that's where it is. But I took that line earlier. So maybe, good old sports books were a little bit ahead of us on it. But I still like it. I still don't see him scoring 25. If anything, I think he's going to have a hell of a lot of assists. And, they'll definitely get up and down.
I like it.
I still love it. He hasn't been torching people here lately, and I think the Pacers will key in on him and trap him and try to make him facilitate. So I definitely love his potential assist line and his overall assist line. Second leg, outside of Anthony Black's over 4.5 assists at minus 138 is Michigan first half spread minus 12.5 against Penn State. I really love that line. It's minus 112.
All right. I'll rock with you on that one. I'm on the Spurs tonight, minus 5.5 over the Grizzlies on the road. The Spurs team, that when they're favored on the road against these lesser opponents, the lines have just been a little bit shorter than they should be. I think this one did get moved up a bit to like a 7.5 at one point. I saw it drop back down to 6.5. We're taking the original opening at 5.5. Big X Big Bet today in the Running with Roman show was Spurs minus 4.5. We've already wagered it. We've already taken it. I've paired that up with the Lakers money line at minus 240 when we caught it. So that's two NBA legs that I like tonight on the team side of things. On the player prop side of things, we did have a couple. I have 2 overs and 2 unders that we were on. We were taking. I'm on LeBron tonight against the Pelicans. 23.5 points in the matchup against Zion and those guys. I think he goes crazy a bit. finally gives Luka a little bit of that relief that Luka needs in the scoring department. And we're going under 24.5 on the Zion Williams side. I think that this Lakers interior can put a little bit of pressure
against LA, though.
He does, but I'm kind of banking on us getting a bit of a lead and him not being in the game late in this one here.
I got one for you. Do you
Tyler
think
Hero as well? Over 15.5 points going up against the Timberwolves. He may be on a minutes restriction tonight, but when he plays, that offense kind of hums a little bit better. And in Minnesota, I mean, I like Hero. I like Hero in this matchup with Anthony Edwards and the scoring side of things. I think that they're going to put Ant on Powell, and I think that kind of could lead to some openings for Hero.
I like that. How many assists do you think Queen gets?
Derek Queen tonight?
Yeah.
I think he's in that 4 or 5 mark.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think he's going over. I don't think he's getting over 6.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people taking him for 6. I'm like, maybe, but I was like, 4 is the sweet spot, I feel like.
4 kind of feels like the sweet spot. I would straight bet 5, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And just because he's a perimeter player technically, and we're iffy on the perimeter, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have a lot of shooting. So he's working for those assists typically every night. Lobbing, doing all kinds of different things some nights he's going to be having 4. He's going to sit at 3 for a full quarter and a half. And some nights he's going to get to that 4th one before the first quarter even ends. Right. And it's just kind of no telling. Depends on how we're defending him tonight. I don't really like it. I don't like it too much, but they are at home and he's been lights out at home. Derek Queen has. JR, this is going to kind of wrap us up, though. Ultimately, we got to get the triple punch out. What was your triple punch parlay piece?
I will go Duke money line.
All right. You're taking Duke money line going against the Cards. Curtis is taking Oklahoma State money line tonight at -155. I'm going to go out of the NBA, and I'm going out of the college. I'm going into the NBA for my triple punch. And we're going under 4.5 assists on Desmond Bane in his matchup against the Wizards tonight. That's going to wrap us up here on the Ticket Puncher Show. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll stay tuned for just a few minutes, chat for a few more minutes here on the X and YouTube side of things if you guys want to jump right over there from the radio side of things. But thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow right here on the Big X. JR, let's go punch those tickets, my man.
Punch some tickets.
There's no. All right. JR, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about our punches so far tonight?
You took Bane under 4.5. Is that what you said?
We got Bane under 4.5.
I got Duke money line. What was the other one?
Oklahoma State money line from Curtis.
Let's look up that one. I'm not familiar. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Oklahoma State basketball.
Yeah, I don't think there's any. They don't know. There's no college football on tonight. So
Oklahoma State against UCF.
Oh, at home, only 2.5 point favorites. I'm not mad at that at all.
What was the line again?
They're 2.5 point favorites.
He took the 2.5 or the money line.
He's taking a money line straight up.
Yeah, 53% of the money is going towards OSU, and then 73% of the money is going towards OSU's spread as well, and the 72% of the money is taking the over. I feel like that's the best bet. Over 175, 80, 81, 60. Oof, it's kind of steep. That must be some high-paced teams.
Yeah, I just placed it here on Fliff. I'll send it in. we want to get that uploaded or something.
Yeah.
I'll place it on Fliff every day, and we can upload it that way every day.
Sounds good.
Billy said, love that Garland line, even with no Mitch tonight. UCF's second loss of season tonight. That's saying they're due. Curtis is saying they're due. I'm not mad at it.
I'll have to tune in and watch. How far is OSU outside of the power rankings?
Oh,
were they ranked at all this season?
Let me go look.
Yeah.
Well, I won't be able to remember. I don't know about before the season started, but I'll see. I can see where they're at right now. They're the 80th ranked team in the net right now, just below UC San Diego, just above Wichita State. In the vicinity, teams like Missouri, teams like South Florida, Stanford, George Mason, Colorado State. That's where Oklahoma State's sitting right now.
Yeah, Philly said no. I like it. I trust Philly. He's the college guy.
He is.
I like it. What do we like for NBA tonight?
Lakers Spurs to win.
Lakers Spurs to win.
I like the Cavs. I mean, there's no reason for the Cavs to lose, but the line being that small
with no Donovan
and no Donovan, I'm not taking that risk.
It's a recipe.
I like Magic to win, even with the trade stuff happening for the Wizards right now. I think the Wizards are trying to play at full health so they can display as much as they can with everybody they've got. Everybody's getting minutes right now for the Wizards who can play. But I still think Magic win that one. I don't like Desmond Bane to cover the 22.5 for some reason.
Going up against CJ and other guard Wendell Carter over 8.5 rebounds. Oof, I like that a lot. He's been banging, and I don't think Sarr can keep him off the boards. Houston first half, -3.5. Who the hell they play? Houston. That's not tonight, is it?
No, LA plays.
Houston.
We've got the
college. Philly punches. Houston. When does Houston play tomorrow?
Yeah. They played last night, didn't they?
Yeah. Kevin Durant. Buzzer beater.
Oh, my God. Listen to this parlay I had last night. 3-leg plus 253 with a 25% boost on it. Houston money line. I caught them at -190 live on a tie game after they had just fouled. I think Phoenix was shooting free throws. So it went from like -220 to -190 or whatever.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, 25+, and Warriors -3.5. That was
yeah. Curry fouled out on a stupid foul after he had just like smacked 3 threes to put him back into the game, tied the game.
To get over my line and make it seem like they were about to win. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it sucked too because it was such a good game. Jimmy Butler freaking airballed at the buzzer.
I had another parlay. This one was like I bet this earlier in the day before anything was live. It was Warriors money line, Rockets money line, Shaden Sharp over 24.5. So Warriors messed that one up too. Meaning, like if they would have won by 1 or something, I technically still could have won something, even though that 3.5 would have got cooked still. Unfortunately, but it's all good. It's part of it. That's betting for you. I think Kerr got ejected too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they
was calling the game.
Suns do. That's what Dylan Brooks does. Dylan Brooks is capable of this.
The referees just weren't calling it consistent on both ends. They were calling, touch fouls on one, and then on the other one, you had to pretty much run through the hole to get a foul.
I didn't give out my tennis for tonight. I forgot to do that. I'll get into that real fast. We're in the ATP in Brisbane. We're on Grigor Dimitrov tonight, or that's tomorrow. I'm sorry, that's tomorrow. Tonight, we only have one that we like tonight. Jiri Lehechka tonight going up against Sebastian Korda. I mean, at -150, I love Jiri in this spot tonight. Medvedev, I like him to beat TFO tonight, but I'm not betting that because Medvedev, they're more evenly matched than -340 and +240. Honestly, the +240 on a TFO sprinkle is very, very intriguing because Medvedev's a hothead, but TFO tries to do that nonsense too much. But tomorrow, where I'm really at, I mean, I'm on Lechka tonight. I've got a 3-leg with Lechka. Tomorrow, I've got Pericard and Dimitrov. Giovanni Pericard, Grigor Dimitrov, money line straight up on both of their Brisbane Brown matchups tomorrow in the round of 16. They're going to advance. They're going to win these matchups. I'm letting you know right now why the odds are still low enough. Go in and get on them while you still can. We'll mention this again tomorrow because they will be those will be at 7 p.m. tomorrow, the other two. So that's the tennis for tonight.
Tyler Hero over 15.5.
I'm on it. I like the 15 plus at minus 150 as well.
I got it at plus 100.
15 plus?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
15.5 plus 100 at 4:39 p.m. But I was like, should I cash this out? Like, I think it's minus 110. Yeah, I think that's a good line. Been sick all day, so I haven't really got to freaking look at much. But who we liking for these NFL playoff games, or do you want to wait to get into it?
Yeah, we'll wait for that. Let's talk more. I mean, we've got playoff CFP in 2 days. Who are you feeling for those? Do you think Miami's going to continue on with this Thursday?
I kind of do. I was waiting.
You've been talking about this Chambliss kid, this Trinidad Chambliss kid.
Good. Hey, he's capable, man. Like he really. It's the first time I've sat up in my chair and really watched a quarterback and his mechanics in a long time. That kid is solid. I'm telling you.
Give me the under in that game. Under 51.5.
I was arguing with I do like that. I do think it's going to be a battle of the defenses, but I like Trinidad more than I like Mendoza. And I know Mendoza's going to the Raiders, and he's your prototypical, tall, stout. He just don't have that gunslinger arm that you look for. Like he's accurate and he makes the right plays. Like he reminds me so much of like a younger Kirk Cousins, like a Minnesota Kirk Cousins. But Trinidad, dude, he has a cannon and he makes plays. I don't know if you watch like that stint of 3-4 plays. I was posting them in our group chat. I was like, it was back to back to back, just like bona fide stud muffin plays.
Yeah.
And didn't flinch, didn't hesitate. Like it's so hard to like find that clutch gene, which he's been in college for almost 5-6 years now.
We got a text in on the Game Day Mental text line I forgot to get into. Says we have a DraftKings boost for U of L Duke 3-leg parlay. I like for this. Give me Boozer 20 plus points, McNeely 12 plus, Conwell 20 plus. I mean, that should happen.
It should, but Conwell, I think, has to score. McNeely should have to score, but
get Philly picks in here?
Yeah, he's in here. Hold up,
What up, fellas?
Hold up. I definitely think Boozer goes ballistic. Nobody has an answer for that kid. It'll come down to Neely. Like his jumper. If it's going, it's going. If it's not, it's not. He just doesn't drive enough, in my opinion, to create off the mid-range. If you ever watch some of his footage before he came to Louisville, dude, he used to get to the rack and create and get to his mid-range like no other. I don't know.
We were talking about that earlier today.
I don't know what happened, but it's just not there anymore. And until we can get some mid-range outside of Brown and Sewell, then I don't know what else to expect, really. It's just going to be a lot of accidental basketball, as the late great Kobe used to say.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think McNeely this year is more so playing his role, but at times like this without Brown, I think
you gotta do more.
We need to facilitate a little bit more, get to the rim, not just shooting threes. So I agree with that. I think Rulli needs to have a nice game.
Yep.
As well.
It's like a must at this point. Without Mike Help, we want a chance.
And overall, Louisville just has to limit turnovers. If we control the turnover battle, and we can just limit Duke from second chance points, but then on our end, just shoot a decent percentage. I'm not saying shoot great or shoot perfect, just a decent percentage. I think we'll have a shot at it as long as Sewell gets it going. That's what it's going to come down to, that and how well the 3 ball goes up. But
yeah,
How you like that hardball firing, Philly?
Yeah, that was I don't know. It don't seem like it surprised a lot of Ravens people, but I mean, I thought it was a possibility with some of the way y'all's games went down. Y'all definitely blew a few leads where where Henry didn't even touch the ball in the fourth quarter after y'all was up double digits. So yeah, but it seems like y'all are kind of just bittersweet about it and just ready for kind of a new start after what was he 17, 18 years?
18 years, man. One
That's
Super
crazy.
Bowl. Yeah. The scary part is I'm terrified of who the candidates are going to be. Like that's what I'm terrified of. Like, I'm hoping they interview Brian Flores, Mike McCarthy, Kubiak if he's interested. If Kubiak's interested, I'm taking Kubiak off the rip.
Yeah,
he would get it done, and he would restore that Ravens punch you in your damn mouth football. But
yeah,
if not, then it's scary. I just hope they don't mess this up. That's the worst thing you can do.
Oh yeah. That's the best available job at the moment. It's literally like I believe around 8 or 9 coaching availabilities right now, head coaching spots right now. So
yeah, I wish call it a long shot, but as far as like a team person guy that I know that would be a great fit, Marcus Freeman. Even though he turned down the NFL, but dude, I think he would be a stud muffin of a coach. Like just listen to his motivational speeches, dude. It'll make you run through a brick wall, and like that's that's what it takes. Hardball with this damn who has it better than us? Everybody.
Yeah. It should be interesting.
Everybody. Side note, what y'all think about the Trae Young trade talks?
Oh,
ready for something to shake.
It's been time.
Yeah, but his contract is just too steep. Like I don't know who's
and he's weak.
Yeah, I mean, they damn sure better not trade his ass to the West. They're gonna put his ass in the blender out there. Like
he's gonna need to be on a defensive team. Like he needs some defenders by him, or
give him that Chef Curry treatment where they hide his ass in the corner defensively. Yeah. I don't like him going to the West. I definitely love him staying in the East. I just don't know. Like,
he needs to go to Washington. If it's not a contender, go to Washington. Go build something for the end of your prime. You're not winning a ring. Everyone knows your style of offense isn't winning a ring.
Building in Washington.
I know. Yeah, I don't see Washington. Nobody wants to go to Washington.
That's the only team after
him. The only
him.
thing he's building in Washington is a congressional campaign.
Go build you a little. I don't even know what you call it, because culture ain't the right word. But Washington needs a point guard for all them young guys. You can go be that for them.
I can see Milwaukee.
Hey, yeah, I would like that.
I can see Milwaukee doing it and still not retaining Giannis.
I mean, but as a cop out to put asses in seats like that would be smooth because I think Giannis is gone. He ain't resigning. He's getting the hell up out of there. He's going to a big market. It'll be L.A., freaking Philly potentially, or New York. I think Philly about one more knee injury from moving the hell up off of Embiid.
Dude, you see yesterday, dog?
Yeah.
His turnovers were just like he didn't even want to be out there, dog. Like
his knees is like Greg Oden's. Like they once at that size, once they start going out, bro, like there's nothing that can save you.
Mm-hmm.
Not even going to Germany and getting the damn knee transplants. Like it just buys you time. But at that size and that weight, unless he slims down like tremendously and get a private chef and eat the best of the best and don't gain weight, like that's the only way that he can even potentially stay in the league a little bit longer. Like I think his run rate is going to be 2 to 3 years if they don't cut bait with him a lot sooner, or if he don't just walk away. Like I think there was a time there where he was literally about to walk away.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, I got to get out of here. I got to go get ready for this U of L
All
game.
right, Godspeed.
You there?
I'll talk to you guys
You there,
tomorrow.
Roman?
Tickets.
Let's punch some tickets.
You going to the game, Roman?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'll be in there, media.
Ah, nice. Good luck, brother.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it, fellas.
Sure.
Make sure y'all in stream for us.
Okay.
Yeah.